Welcome to Dare You to Read podcast, where two bookworm besties dare you and each other to read our latest obsessions. But there's a catch. If the book just isn't our cup of tea and we refuse the dare, we'll be forced to share an embarrassing story or try our luck with the possible nauseating consequences of being boozled.
A twisted bookish version of Truth or Dare, if you will. Hi, we are Jes
and Em,
best friends and critique partners. We are writers, readers, and are coincidentally both moms to 5 wildlings. That's 10 kids between the two of us, y'all.
Anywho, Jes is our resident romance expert who will no doubt be daring me to read far beyond my preferred level of spice and be kicking her feet and cackling over my blushing.
And Em is your fantasy girly who will be daring me to dive into the world of ogres and elves and fae. Oh my.
So escape with us into new worlds while we challenge one another to explore books outside of our comfort zone. You might just find your next favorite read, or even a book boyfriend.
Or 2.
We dare you. Episode number 1 happening right now. Can you hear me, Jes?
I can hear you.
Finally. Oh my gosh. Okay, take number 5 or 6.
Or 10.
Okay, we're finally here. We're doing this. So we should start with intros. I'll go first since I forced you into this.
And I'm still not prepared, so.
Neither am I. I feel like I just want to get up and run away and just don't come back to the house.
Have a stiff drink.
Okay, no one likes standing up in front of the class and doing your little hi. But okay, here we go. Hi, my name's Emily, or Em. I'm a mom to 5, ages between 10 and 1. I have an amazing husband named Mark. He flew F-18s for the Navy for 10 years, and now we are back home living in Arizona, where we both grew up, and we're getting ready to move to up north to Prescott. I like long walks on the beach. Just kidding. I've always been a reader, and I used to really love writing short stories. And it wasn't until a couple years ago now, I can't believe it's been that long, that I got an idea for a fantasy novel. It just kind of smacked me in the face when I was nursing my now 3-year-old at the time. And I just started feverishly writing notes in the note section on my phone. And then it was a real thing. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm writing a book. And that's when I got involved with Writing with the Soul, the community that Adrienne Young started. Shout out to Fable. If you haven't read that, you have to. And that's where I met Jes. And now we're best friends. And she's my ride or die. And she's never going to get rid of me. So that's me.
Try so hard to get rid of you and you don't let me.
That's why I forced you into this podcast.
Yeah, like a day. I thought you were joking.
Okay, Jes, give us
My turn
elevator.
To stand in front of the class.
Yep.
All right, I'm Jes with 1 S. Get it
Important.
Right. I also have 5 kids between the ages of 4 and 12. I have been married to my annoyingly hot husband, Aaron, for almost 13 years now. I got a dog. His name is Russell. He's an American bulldog, and I kind of like him. And I have to look at notes for my own about me. I live in a tiny Texas town called Big Lake, and there is no lake. So don't even look into coming with a swimsuit. So But yeah, a lot of mine overlaps yours.
And
I
you
had
are
an
writing a book.
I am. I've written my first book. I finished July of, what was it, 2022, I think. Yes. And I had that book idea since I was in high school and finally finished it. And now I am doing an adult contemporary romance.
And it's so
And
good.
I love it. So can we not talk about me anymore? I don't like it.
Okay. Let's talk about books. Not our books, other books.
Your intro about yourself was so much better than mine.
No, I forgot that I have 2 dogs. Putting that out there.
Whatever. You hate dogs.
What? Don't put that out there. I have 2 Goldens, the most doggy dogs you can have.
And they're beautiful.
Okay, so if you listen to the intro, you know the premise of our podcast. We are each daring each other to read one of our favorite books or one of our most recent reads that we love. And I am mostly a fantasy reader. And, but of course, I read a little bit of everything. And Jess reads way more romance than I do. But to be clear, she does read fantasy and she likes fantasy.
I love fantasy.
She wrote a fantasy book. So, okay. So I'm going to start with my little hype session for Legends and Lattes, which is my first dare for you. And I'm excited to talk about it because I really haven't ever read a book like this. I just haven't read the cozy types of fantasy books before. And so it threw me off a little bit in the beginning. And I remember like texting you being like, I don't know if I should do this for the podcast because like nothing's happening. Like I love it, but like when is something going to happen? But don't let that deter you because I think it's so worth it. Like the tagline says high fantasy, low stakes, good company. And I totally agree with that. I really appreciated that slower pace, but you're still like really invested in it the whole time. I wrote in my notes, I was like, it's a lullaby for my bookish soul. And
that's
that's how
the
I felt.
writer
Like,
in you, my friend.
it was like, it's like a balm for your anxiety, like a balm, BALM for your anxiety.
Chapstick.
But yeah, yes, it's a chapstick for your anxiety. Exactly.
I'm a hick, Em.
Be careful because this book will make you hungry. Okay, so I'm gonna start giving you a little more here. So the main character, her name is Viv, and she is an orc. Yeah, she's an orc, like big green girl. And
so it's wrong. It's not an ogre.
Not an ogre. She's an orc. She has lived a life as like a mercenary. She's like a bounty hunter. Has this big sword that is like her life, and she has a little gang of friends that she does like the odd jobs with. But she's looking to put that life behind her and kind of just live a more cozy life without killing every day. So her last job that she does, this isn't a spoiler. It's like how the very first page of the book starts. She gets this magical item called a Scalvert stone from like the skull of someone she was contracted to kill, and it's the lore is that it'll bring you fortune. So she takes that and just like pieces out from her little gang of friends, and she's going to go start a new life opening a coffee shop. And the whole time it is just like I just wanted to live in that coffee shop. And they add like a new items to their menu every day. And the characters, I just like feel like they're my best friends. It's like has found family vibe, you know. And of course there's some conflict, but it's like it doesn't like get your anxiety spiking, you know? So it's just like a really good read for when you need like a breath of calm, fresh air.
Like a fantasy to sit in front of a fireplace type thing. Like
yes. Reading on a rainy day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do
Reading on
that.
a rainy day in front of a fireplace. Yeah. So there's a giant furry cat that gives Totoro vibes. Do you like Totoro? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say Totoro? No?
Oh, I was just gonna roll with it. Pretend I knew.
It's like anime.
Oh God, Caroline probably. Oh, my daughter. My daughter
Yeah.
probably knows.
Well, it's from like when we were kids. Well, probably a little bit older, but yeah. Yeah. So you'll have to get her hooked on
Just
that.
go with it, nerd.
But yes, so Jess, I dare you to read Legends and Lattes.
What's your star rating?
Okay, I would say 4 stars. Okay, the something that you're gonna like yell at me for if you read this book
Okay.
is the romance. Okay, it's a slow burn. Very
Is
slow.
there a burn?
It's a yeah, it's a little flicker. It's a flicker.
Oh gosh. Okay, I can handle it. I can deal with it. If I get to sit in front of my fireplace with my feet propped up, I'll do it. That's way better than an embarrassing story.
Yeah. I think this one's worth it.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. I accept your challenge. Is that what we're supposed to say? I don't know what we're just.
Dare accepted.
Dare taken. Oh my goodness. Okay, I like that. I'm actually interested now because no lie, the cover kind of threw me.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
a
what
little
is
cartoony.
yeah, I was like, what is this?
You're
All
gonna
right,
love it.
but okay, all right, we'll see.
Okay,
Is
what
it
do you
my
have for
turn?
me? Yeah.
Okay, so my read was Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. And as you know, I read it in like 2 days. I loved it. For me, it's a 5-star because I just couldn't put it down. Now I'm going to spice rate my books for you because I want to see your blush meter after you read them. So before I dive into what it's about, I gave it a 3 peppers. I don't know why I did that, but we'll just go. I'm the romance girl, okay? But the spice is essential to the plot. But it is open door and there's a couple of scenes and stuff. So it's not too over the top. It's nothing like that. But to summarize, Forget Me Not is about an ambitious, overzealous, sunshine wedding planner named Emma, however you want to say her name. But she meets a brooding, tattooed hottie of a florist named Elliot, and of course, sparks fly. But it's a dual narrative with Amma in the present tense, and then Elliot is in the past going through their relationship up to where they meet again.
Okay,
So both timelines.
I've never read that before. Like having dual point of view, but what they're different like timelines.
It's genius. And it
Yeah.
flows so like progressively. It's really genius. And it made the story feel like complete.
Yeah.
And of course, so it's a second chance romance, and you've got the grumpy sunshine dynamic and stuff like that. But like there are parts that you're literally laughing out loud over certain situations that they encounter. I mean, there are points where you want to like throw the book or like get it together. Use your brain, use your mouth, speak, talk.
Communication.
But it is, yes, yeah.
Does it have the miscommunication trope?
It's not necessarily miscommunication. It's just not communicating at all, I would say.
Yeah, that gets to
But
me.
that typically bothers me. Like that miscommunication trope typically like digs under my skin. But she does it in such a good way that you're not like super frustrated because you're also dealing with like certain themes that she's representing throughout the book are like childhood trauma with your parents, like mom / issue for the main character. There's professional gaslighting, uh, deals with self-worth, all of that stuff. So it's like,
So it's
you
realistic.
don't, yes, because you're like, okay, I can kind of see how like all of your crap in the past would lead you to kind of not talking. But as the reader, you're just like wanting to slap them.
Yeah. Just kiss.
So yeah, just shut up. You're still into each other. Get over it. But yeah,
when
so
characters are just like the only reason they're not together is because they refuse to tell each other how they feel, and there's no reasoning for that. I can't take it. So that doesn't sound like that's what that is.
No. There's so many like underlying things and events that even though there's that essence to it, it doesn't bother you too bad.
Yeah.
So I dare you to read Forget Me Not.
Wait, did you give your star rating? You gave your spice rating.
Yeah, I did. I did first thing. I just dove into it first because I am. But no, I did give it 5 stars because
okay,
I couldn't put it down. It's such a fast read. Like you're enjoying it throughout the whole time. That to me, if I can't put it down, you know, I'm if I'm ignoring my children, it's a 5-star.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing is that the Legends and Lattes, it's literally like a 5-hour read. It's a short book.
Okay.
So even though it's like a slow pace, like you read it so quickly that it doesn't drag on and you're like, oh God, I don't want to open this book anymore. Like, you know?
You're like 300 pages in, like what is happening? Nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a quick read.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. See?
But okay.
We both have
So
quick reads.
yeah, that's perfect. Okay. I accept your dare. I will read Forget Me Not.
You better.
And then should we say, wait, we don't even have our picks for next week.
Oh, I do.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay,
like
do you want to say what your pick is for next week?
Well, I might change my mind because I don't know if I want to subject you into that deep of the romance trenches quite yet.
I have read Spice. Okay, I can handle it. I just like don't love when it's just like all spice and no plot. But like, have you read Hooked or what is her name? Emily McIntyre.
I love Hooked. Yes, I like that one.
Okay, so that's like high level spice, right?
Did you like it?
Well, I think in that book it's like the good girl kind of spice, and I don't really love that.
Oh, you're not your favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think okay. So I'll do you want me to say my next pick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I am going with the latest and greatest Tessa Bailey release. Oh my god.
Well, I didn't hear anything. Okay. You're good.
People started yelling. Okay. People started yelling in the background, so I had to mute myself.
It's okay. We're moms.
Yes. The latest and greatest from Tessa Bailey. It's called Fangirl Down, and it just came out this Tuesday. So it's a perfect read to dive into later this month, early into March. So I think you'll like it. I loved it.
Okay. It's harder for me to find dares for you because I've barely read any romance. So you can probably pick anything and I haven't read it. But you have read like just hundreds of books. So
I have an
hundreds of
addiction,
fantasy
though.
books. Yeah.
It's better than drugs. Okay, we're just
Well, yes, I agree. So I do not
My
have.
kids are older though.
Yeah. So yeah, it's harder to read when you have like little kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not have my pick yet, but that will be my my homework for the week is to find some fantasy book out there that you haven't read. Okay.
Baby, live your life.
You're totally fine. You're fine. I
And
think
it's
we've
my husband. He's the worst one.
Isn't that true for all of us?
Yeah. Gee.
Well, I think we've successfully done what we wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes. So
Okay.
it'll be even better next time because we'll get to go over each other's dares and then our next ones.
Yep. Okay. Podcast episode number 1 complete.
I give it 5 stars.